from West Tennessee's news channel, this is 7 Eyewitness News at 10.
It's a sad day for the United States. These service members served their country with pride, and they have been the victims of these shootings.
Tragedy in Tennessee. A gunman opens fire on 2 military centers, killing 4 people and wounding 3 others. The Pentagon confirms all 4 who died were U.S. Marines.
The suspected gunman, Mohammed Yusuf Abdulaziz, is also dead. Bullet holes can be seen in the glass doors of a recruitment facility. And just less than 8 miles away, the gunman also fired shots into a Navy Reserve Center, killing Marines. We're learning more about the suspected gunman. Those who knew Abdulaziz share how they never imagined him being a part of such a tragedy. Holly Furfer has the details.
Our hearts are breaking for the families of these Marines tonight. And we also know that there are others who have been injured today.
The FBI says 24-year-old Mohammed Yusuf Abdulaziz went to 2 places and targeted service members.
Brutally and brazenly attacked members of our armed services.
Abdulaziz was born in Kuwait and had Jordanian citizenship. He was a naturalized U.S. citizen who liked to wrestle. You can see him here in gray camouflage shorts. Coaches say he was a good student. This is his high school yearbook photo. His senior quote, "My name causes national security alerts. What does yours do?" In 2012, he graduated from college with a degree in electrical engineering. But this won't be the last image we have of Abdulaziz. Instead, it's crime.
He lifted up his arms like this with a big black gun, and just, it was one shot, and then it was just endless shots, one after another, just unloading.
The investigation is just beginning. The FBI will take the lead to determine what motivated the gunman to kill.
We are conducting this as an act of domestic terrorism.
And that was Holly Furfer reporting.
Marines here in West Tennessee pledged to help the families of the 4 Marines any way they can.
WBBJ 7 Eyewitness News reporter Bethany Thompson spoke with leaders of the Captain Jack Holland Marine Corps League about how today's violence affects Marines worldwide.
All right. It's just a camaraderie that you can't explain.
Bryce West, who serves as the commandant for the Captain Jack Holland Marine Corps League, says when something happens to another Marine, it feels like family.
When something happens to our brothers, we hurt too. And, and we just here to give prayer.
Casey Palmer, a photojournalist for WBBJ 7 Eyewitness News, is an officer in the Marine Corps League.
Anytime a Marine is killed in combat, we take it very, very close to heart. When 4 Marine recruiters are killed at a desk job recruiting, it almost makes you want to cry. There's no reason for that to happen in the United States of America.
West says he plans on reaching out to the Marine Corps League chapter in Chattanooga to see what the Marines here can do.
We're going to help in whatever way we can, be it monetary or otherwise, but we're going to help how we can.
Palmer says this act of terrorism is a tragic loss for the Marine Corps.
To serve in a desk job and to recruit freedom in the United States of America, and to be gunned down when they're unarmed, I'm at a loss for words. It's just sad.
The Marine Corps members said a prayer and had a moment of silence, remembering those lost and the families they leave behind. In Northeast Jackson, Bethany Thompson, WBBJ 7 Eyewitness News.
The motive for the shooting is still under investigation.
From this picture, you can get a sense of law enforcement response after the shooting. The THP confirmed troopers from across the state, including from West Tennessee, were in Chattanooga today helping secure roads. Officials also say the governor's residence in Nashville was briefly shut down as a precaution.
As expected, the shootings have caught the attention of national and local leaders. Not long after the incident, Governor Bill Haslam took a moment to express his thoughts and say his prayers are with the families of the victims.
All Tennesseans are like me, incredibly saddened and sickened by the killings in Chattanooga.
After being briefed by the FBI director, President Obama released a statement from the Oval Office.
It is a heartbreaking circumstance for these individuals who have served our country with great valor to be killed in this fashion.
Vice President Joe Biden also shared his thoughts by assuring Americans the government will do all it can to bring justice to those affected.
Today's shooting brought back memories for many in the Mid-South. It was 6 years ago. A recruiter was killed in a shooting in Little Rock, Arkansas. Abdul Hakim Muhammad, who media outlets report once lived in Memphis, was sentenced to life in prison without parole for capital murder. Prosecutors say he drove to a military recruiting station at Little Rock in 2009 and shot 2 soldiers, killing one and injuring another.
We'll continue to follow this horrific shooting in East Tennessee. Stay with WBBJ on your phone and tablet through our free app and online at WBBJ-TV.com for the very latest developments.
In a developing story out of Humboldt tonight, police are investigating a shooting that sent one man to the hospital and has 2 gunmen on the run. It happened yesterday on Van Street. Investigators say a 31-year-old man was shot when 2 black men walked up to him as he was sitting in his car. The victim, who was treated and released at the Jackson Hospital, told police both suspects had guns, wore masks, and were dressed in black. If you have any information that could help investigators, call Humboldt Police.
Humboldt police arrest Terrence Perry on a charge of aggravated statutory rape. The 35-year-old is accused of attacking a 14-year-old girl. Police say the victim told them it happened more than once. Perry remains jailed tonight in lieu of bond.
In an update in Decatur County, 39-year-old Dustin Lovelace was scheduled to appear for a hearing today for his pending first-degree murder trial in the 2013 death of Wesley Conway. However, it was rescheduled. TBI agents say Conway was found shot to death. The victim's family said the 2 were close friends. Today's hearing was reset for September 22nd.
New at 10, a man is behind bars accused of threatening his ex-girlfriend with a hammer. According to court papers, Darren Harris hit the victim in the head with his fist during an argument, then drug her by her hair out the front door, then strangled her until she passed out. He remains jailed in Madison County on charges of aggravated domestic assault.
Across the country, a jury has found Colorado theater shooter James Holmes guilty of murder in the 2012 attack that left 12 dead and dozens wounded. Jurors deliberated for about 13 hours over 2 days. They now must decide whether the 27-year-old should be executed or spend the rest of his life in prison. Holmes showed no reaction as the judge read the jury's verdict on all 165 counts. He pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity.
The 21-year-old who confessed to shooting up a Charleston Bible study now has a trial date. Dylan Roof will go to trial on July 1st of next year. He's accused of killing 9 churchgoers at the AME Church in South Carolina. At today's hearing, a judge also extended the gag order to give attorneys and families the chance to contest the release of 911 calls and case documents. Prosecutors say Roof's case will likely be a death penalty trial.
New tonight, a teenager and 2 juveniles were arrested for the robbery of an elderly woman. Paris police say 18-year-old Devontae Davis is accused of taking the woman's purse at the Henry County Medical Center. According to officers, the victim suffered injuries to her arm and leg. Davis is said to be in court next week. Paris police released this picture. If you can identify the other participants, you're asked to call Paris police at this number, 642-2424.
Also new tonight, mail is delayed for some West Tennesseans after vandals break into their post office. Investigators have charged a father and son with the crime. WBBJ 7 Eyewitness News reporter Jordan Hall joins us in studio tonight with how investigators were able to track down the suspects. Jordan?
Kelly, although the value of the items that were taken doesn't amount to a significant figure, the act itself of breaking into a post office is considered a federal crime. Investigators say the vandals are no strangers to the area. A resident dropping off his mail inside this post office knew something wasn't right when he saw a hole in the wall, now repaired, beside the post office boxes.
I guess whoever it was just thought maybe there was something here that was of some type of value and some type of quantity.
Finger Alderman Rodney Weaver says investigators worked Wednesday to track down a suspect and missing mail. They didn't have to look far to find the men they believe are responsible.
It's just kind of old-fashioned police work. We worked the scene there, we processed the scene.
McNairy County investigators called in Hardeman County's K-9 to try and track a scent or maybe even the trail of where a suspect might have headed off to. And it didn't take him very long to find. He went straight across the street through this yard, and about 200 yards down the road, deputies knocked on the door at that address and they found the packages inside the home.
People shouldn't destroy other people's property, because if you work hard for yours, well, you don't want nobody to destroy yours.
Deputies arrested Ricky Scudder at the home and found his son, Michael Scudder, in Chester County. Both are now in the McNairy County Jail.
It seems like he just went in to randomly look for items of value and honestly probably didn't make away with a whole lot of value as far as monetary. Obviously, it's a lot of value to the person that was waiting to receive those packages.
The sheriff says Michael Scudder has been charged in similar crimes in the past. In McNairy County, Jordan Hall, WBBJ-7 Eyewitness News.
Ricky and Michael Scudder are charged with burglary, theft, and vandalism. The sheriff says he expects federal charges in the coming week.
Well, the hot weather is getting ready to kind of crank up even more as we go into the weekend, and we've got to remind you about beating the heat. And here's some tips to do so by staying hydrated and use plenty of sunscreen. And you know, that hat on top of that head keeps that head protected from all the sun's rays and getting a sunburn and so on. We've got dressing for summer important, and those pets, make sure they have plenty of water as they are in the heat during the afternoons. Now, as you take a look at the heat index, we'll see 106 to 109 with heat advisories in effect through Saturday. No precipitation across the area, and the almanac shows us hitting a high today of 93. Temperatures right now are in the 80s, and we will bottom out probably around 75, warming back up into the 90s. The look at your weather headlines brought to you by University of Tennessee at Martin, and those headlines include a quiet, warm night ahead and more counties under a heat advisory, and it's imperative to use your safety rules. And we'll have more on that coming up, guys.
Thank you very much, Eddie. And the developing story tonight, residents at a Jackson apartment complex say a sewage problem is leaving more than a foul odor in the air. Property owner Paul Munt says he was notified of the drain issue at Guardian Courts Apartments Wednesday night. Residents say feces and toilet paper have been on the complex's lawn for nearly a month. City officials say a complaint was made with the Building and Housing Codes Department yesterday, and they inspected the sewage line this morning. While we were at the complex, a maintenance crew began spreading lime.
You don't want to come out here and smell it. You can't have visitors come through the front because they have to walk through it.
We have since gotten it cleared. We were unable to find out what was maliciously put into the sewer.
City inspectors say Munt handled clearing the sewage line appropriately. Well, this group of workers say, let's do this and make it possible for a West Tennessee family to get in and out of their home.
And this West Tennessee town, known for a lot of things, now has a #1 rating some would rather forget. We'll explain when we come back.